trình phát thanh dành cho đồng bào Việt Nam ở xa Tổ quốc.
Bờ biên giới anh đi về.
Chương trình phát thanh cho đồng bào Việt Nam. Chương trình dành cho đồng bào Việt Nam ở xa.
Welcome to another episode of our podcast. It's going to be a fun episode. It's going to be great. It's going to be super cool, super awesome.
Yeah, we're doing it.
Podcast. Yeah. So joining me from DC is our Vietnamese comic and also future revolutionary Leo Nguyen.
Yes. I'm here. I'm your correspondent in DC. Shit is not going well.
Glad
Turn
to
it
know.
back to you, Ma, in the studio.
And also joining us is our special guest, a good friend of mine. He's a comedian and writer based in Dublin. He's been performing in Ireland, the States. He also had a successful run at the 2019 Edinburgh Fringe. And since the war ended, he's spending his time making videos about fern plants and autoerotic asphyxiation on TikTok.
Yeah.
Please welcome Matthew Tallon, everyone.
Hey,
Yeah.
how's it going? Thanks for having me, you guys. I'm ready to party.
Bro.
You're doing the God's work on Facebook, teaching about the important topic.
Yeah,
important topic.
I gotta educate people
Yes.
about autoerotic asphyxiation. Because
That's like the first thing on my mind every day. So
every time you wake up, because
just like. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, same for me. And where can we find these videos, educational videos, Matthew?
Yeah.
You can add me. You can go onto my TikTok, which is at MatthewTallon5, or you can follow me on Instagram, which is at Tallon Matthew. And I'm just dropping facts. I'm just talking about the things that I'm passionate about.
Definitely,
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I would love to reach out. I would love more of the Vietnamese community. I would love to make autoerotic asphyxiation huge over there. I want it to
this is going. I'm telling people this is the next big thing. People they don't know about this stuff, man. This is next level.
Yeah, it's like Elvis Presley in the 1950s.
Yes. This is like the talk of the town, man.
Comes out, and all the old people are like, "No, I think that's wrong," and all the young people are like, "You just don't get it, Mom."
Look at the hips.
Autoerotic asphyxiation. It's a cool thing.
Yeah. So are you in Washington D.C., Leo? Or
Yes. I'm in Washington D.C. I'm currently working at a non-profit, for-profit. It's
nice. So a profit.
yes. That's why they can have me latching on them like a fucking parasite.
That's what you got to do, man. Just get into a charity and just corrupt them. Just
get into the charity, and then hey, I'm a Vietnamese kid. You need to feed me every year, so
yeah.
check off your list. Okay,
that's good, man.
What do we got here on the screen?
Yeah, so we're just gonna talk about what you did recently, Matthew. You were recently nominated as Hot Press Comedian of the Year.
Yeah. I was.
Wow.
There it is, right there. People can't say it didn't happen. We have proof.
Evidence
There's a
right
pink circle around it. It definitely happened.
I mean, I got that from your Instagram.
Wow.
Yeah, you can really see how good my Photoshop skills have come along by how legitimate that looks.
Yeah, it looked like it came from the Anonymous or something. But it's great. I mean, this is good stuff, man. How do you feel?
It's cool. I got the news that I saw it that I was nominated for the award, and the first thing that came in my head was it's about fucking time,
Right,
time's up.
Yeah. And then I looked at the other people, and I was just like, I feel sorry for all these people because it's gonna be embarrassing for them when they lose to me. And Aisling B, what's she ever done?
Yeah, I know. Some movies, maybe a couple.
Arlo Hanlon.
Who's that guy? I don't even know. But Matthew,
who gives a fuck about Father Ted? I'm saying.
No, Father Ted. It was only the biggest show ever to come out of Ireland. But Matthew, I'm doing my own show called Father Ned, and it's.
Yeah.
It is on the network of TikTok. Yes.
Exactly. So I'm
reach, yeah. And so So, and what was the final result? Like,
It hasn't come out yet. I would be all joking aside. There's no way I won. Some of the people there are like the biggest comedians ever to come out of Ireland. There's like 30 names there.
yeah.
And
But look at you. You're amongst them. You know, that's the most
just,
important thing.
Below Michael Fry, Neil Delamare.
Yeah, I'm happy because I'm just happy.
It's the company, you know. It's the company.
I'm just happy to be a part of it. I'm happy to be in the group. That's the closest I'll ever get to Michael Fry since his restraining order came through. I'm thrilled.
Yeah, man. Congratulations.
Congratulations, yes. You did it. You honor the ancestors.
You should have seen the Vietnamese diaspora hottest comic. There was only 2 nominations. It is me and Grandpa Mai.
Whoa.
You're talking to them right now, so you know.
Yeah,
Grandpa Mai is tough competition. That's
I mean, we'd respect the elders, so I'm gonna give it to him. To that old motherfucker. You're gonna have like 2 more years to live. I don't know, but
he can leave you the award in his will. You can have it when he's done with it.
Definitely, yeah. But so like, what do you think that got you nominated? Was it because of your distinct style? Like, how would you describe your style of comedy, Matthew?
Well, hopefully funny, obviously. That would be the main description I'd like people to have afterwards. I like to think that it's kind of a bit weird and different, and not like what people tend to always associate with stand-up. I try to do a few like prop gags, but not too much. Some kind of like stuff with recordings and just some stuff that maybe will surprise people when they come to see the show, and I come up and just just weird them out with my freakishness.
Freakishness.
I'm a freak comedian. That would probably be.
Oh man,
but would you call yourself like an alternative comedian?
I guess so. Like alternative comedy, it's so weird because some people are calling themselves alternative comedians, I feel like, and it's just because they're just talking about like whatever. They're not, but I would say that I would be. I try to be original, I guess, which I think every comedian try to do something a little bit different. So in that way, I feel like it doesn't matter if you're alternative or mainstream, as long as you're trying to like do something that's just your own thing, you know.
Definitely. So it's all about like just having your own voice, right? Having your own little niche.
Yeah. Just finding like what you think maybe you can do that no other comedian can do exactly that thing. You know, you're inspired by the people around you and by the people that you grow up watching, but it's like the unique combination of all those things that is like yours. And I feel like that's what any. I don't think I necessarily have that. I think it takes like years and years and years to like get that voice, but I think that's what every comedian should be like chasing after, you know.
Absolutely. So comedians, if you're out there and you're on a stage with a mic, you're boring. Do something new. God damn it. Yeah. Bring some props, man.
Yeah, like a fern plan.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know,
bring my plan.
Be original.
Think outside the box, you know.
I did actually. I did a video with my fern plant, and I ended up like destroying it in the process by accident because I was just like a tyrannical. I was like, have you ever heard about like The Shining, where Stanley Kubrick was like traumatizing his actors? That was me with my fern plant. I just put it through hell for the sake of.
Hey, but look where it got you on the list. Hot press, man. Hot press.
Truly, the Stanley Kubrick of Irish comedy.
That's what I'm going after. Yeah.
Put on a poster.
Yeah, that would be on my Edinburgh poster. It'll be like me. It'll be like The Shining, but I'm Jack Nicholson. And
but I mean, obviously, it's a big achievement for you. Like, in how many years you've done comedy?
I think 3. I think it was coming up on 3 before COVID started, so around 3 or 4 now.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
yes.
What got you into it?
He liked weirding people out in the beginning without the comedy.
Yeah. People in class, everyone just is laughing at me, and I'm like, why are you doing this? I'm just trying to be normal. So I'm like, I might as well. I might as well try to make them laugh if they're gonna laugh anyway.
Stop laughing at me.
Start laughing with me.
Yeah, laugh at my jokes instead of.
I'm just eating my lunch. Come on, guys.
That's cool, man. That's cool.
And that's how
You're
I started
natural.
working.
You're
with props
natural.
as well, is at the lunch table, you know. But yeah, I did a play in college where I was like the comedic relief character. So then, yeah, they just bring me out, and the audience is like, But yeah, it was the first. It felt good though when the audience starts laughing at you, and that just kind of got me addicted to it.
Yes. That feeling, you know.
That's that
Putting Matthew in a comedy in a comic relief role is like putting a tiger back into the jungle, back into his role of existence.
Yeah. In my habitat.
Natural habitat.
Yes.
And that makes a lot of sense as well, because I did chase after the audience members and maul them to death like a tiger.
Commitment. I remember when I did
powerful.
Yeah, I remember when I did a college play. It was not a comedic relief role, but I was a clown, so he had to ask me to tone it down. Hey, Leo, this is not a comedy. This is drama. You're making it very weird. I was like, man, the audience is laughing, but we want them crying. I was like, man,
I can't believe you would try and like put your talent in a box. I can't believe you would try to cage Leo's comedy. That's like trying to cage like the greatest prison escape artist. That's trying to cage Houdini, you know?
Yes.
You're just gonna break out of that, man.
You're asking for it, man. You cast me. Anyway. Yeah, that's great.
That's great.
Do you do stand up in DC? Actually, I know you're probably. Do you like? Is there a scene? Is there a good scene there?
Yeah, it's a good scene here. But there's not a lot of Asian people doing comedy here, so there's a underground quota of one Asian per show. Otherwise, it's became an Asian show and they don't like it. Yeah. It's kind of hard to get on, but I'm trying to get scraps where I can.
Yeah.
But I started doing it again exactly at COVID, so I didn't have much of a long run, like maybe 3 months of solid before I was kind of like falling into a comfortable traps of making enough money and then not trying. So I'm trying to break out of that again now.
Yeah, that's the worst thing for being a comedian, is being comfortable and happy. That's
yeah, definitely. No.
Exactly. So,
Leo, you recently did your like first live gig, right?
I did. It was a brunch show.
All right.
It was a brunch show. It was outside. It was a brunch show outside. Actually great, you know, about like 30-40 people turns up, man. So much, you know, but as a comedian groups, we got together and we have to like decide if we have to tone it down or not, because the people are not ready for pussies consistently, you know. People are not ready for that kind of material yet, because, you know, they just woke up, right? Yeah. You don't want to just like smash in the face with it. So we got together, man, like we got to tone down a little bit, you know. So we, compared to the show that we did the night before, you know, Friday night, it was a lot more tame, but people still vibing with it. But it's great. I did some educational on Stop Asian Hate. So, you know, I've been a lot of Stop Asian Hate going on. So I just say, you know, don't just say Stop Asian Hate. Start sucking Asian sticks. You know, put your monies where your mouth is. Just like. You know, like statement don't mean nothing to us. Actions matter. So you
put your mouth where your mouth is. And as the case maybe.
Exactly.
Definitely, yeah. That's a very important message from our podcast. Hashtag Stop Asian Hate, Stop Asian Steak. You got it here from Leo Nguyen.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah. Can you add a little "and Matthew" bracket at the end of that? Like,
yes.
Open bracket. Matthew Tallon also state this. Close bracket.
There we go.
But yeah, so you had Leo in DC, and Matthew, you also had your own adventure in the States.
Ooh,
yeah, I did.
Okay.
In the past.
Yeah, and that's the only photo I could find. You were asking me if I had any photos in the States, and I was like, I promise you, this one is in Chicago. You just can never tell. It's just somebody's apartment. But I lived in Chicago for about 6 months, doing comedy there, and
Dope.
I feel like, I learned a lot there because the people. I don't know if it's probably like this in DC as well. There's such an intensity to the comedy there because there's like 400 comics in the city,
Yep,
so everyone is just battling it out for spots, like a pack of tigers trying to get scraps or something. We get like so it was very interesting to experience that, you know. And I got to do some cool gigs out of it as well. I got to do like the Laugh Factory, which
absolutely,
you know, it was great. You get to feel like you're in one of those YouTube videos, like with like Dave Chappelle or somebody there. Preferably not the Michael Richards one. That's a bad video.
Oh yeah,
but that wasn't the venue's fault.
When was this? It was a couple years ago.
Yeah, this was about. You can tell because I still have life in my eyes back then. But it was, it was about 2019. I think I was there. I was doing a study abroad at the University of Chicago.
Right on.
In Hyde Park, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a great part of town.
Yeah. Have you been to Shy City?
Yeah, I go to Shy City,
Shy Town,
Chirac. Yeah, call it Chirac. Yeah,
yeah.
But I go to school in Illinois, so around like 2 hours from Chicago. So that's like the closest big city that I could find. So I would go there to like catch a plane or visit a friend. So I go to quite often, and you know, Chicago is a really beautiful city. It's a lot of great things going on. So you know, I'm seeing a Nokia in that you're holding on your hands. Is that right?
Yeah.
I thought this photo was from like 2009 or something. Like, you don't age.
2001. You know.
Man, it's like things went Matthew.
Yeah, that's one of my famous props. Is just an old phone.
I see. I see.
I was in the middle of a bit there.
What was the joke, Matthew?
It was weird. It was like I would play a kind of recording of I would do like an impression of myself listening to the set later on, and then there'd be a recording of the set, and that was kind of the premise of the joke.
Man,
was it the one where you're like you're trying to predict what the audience is going to react to your set?
Yeah, and then they're all like booing me and everything in the recording, and they just hate me.
I'm not racist.
You're white too.
Yeah.
But that's, man, you're talking about like a comedian outside the box. Man, I think you're very creative. So.
Oh, thank you very much, man. That's nice.
Yeah. That's something very, very nice to see of comedians.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to looking up, like snooping on, stalking your sets on YouTube when this is over. Checking out.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah. I'm like, this guy is doing something that I haven't seen.
Oh,
but
cool.
That's cool. Is there anything else you want to share about your experience, your adventure time in Chicago?
Oh, well, it was interesting. You know, I had a lot of firsts. I got mugged for the first time, which I feel is a
cultural experience.
Hey.
Yeah. You're not in Chicago until you've gotten mugged. You don't live there until then.
That's the license to brag, you know? That's the license to brag if you're actually in Chicago.
Yeah. People are like, "Oh my God, you got mugged yesterday? That's great. We should hang out together. That's so cool."
That's cool, man.
And also because you have that like really distinct voice, you know, that's sort of like mixed between Irish and American. Was that because of your times in the States?
I actually had this voice before I went to Chicago. I think I've had it since I was like a kid, and people would like make fun of me for it in school and stuff. But then when I went over to Chicago, it like confused the shit out of them because they could tell that I wasn't American, but I didn't sound Irish at all. So they were like, "Where the hell are you from?"
Yeah, bro. That threw me off. I'm glad you were the one that said that, but not me, because that would come off very rude. But yeah, I mean, I'm imagining like I'm the white person, and then you are me when they talking to me. Like, you don't have an accent at all. Where are you from? Where are you from? You know, like that.
You
type
don't
of
sound like my
situation.
mammies from Kildare.
Yeah, I was when you know, Nghia talking about bringing you on. I was like, I have a perception of your voice, so you know, the time in America is making me very racist.
Yeah, you have all this prejudice now from living
Yeah,
in DC because that's where it all like America is like a bowl, and all of the hate gathers in Washington.
Yeah,
DC
it's like the
eventually.
traumas, like the collective traumas, like it got to you. So you know, it manifested me. But anyway,
No, it was. I do feel though like it's weird because everyone in America, everyone loves an Irish accent. They like they find it really hot and everything. So when people found out that I was Irish. I feel like they would be really disappointed because they would be like, "Oh, cool! You're gonna have like a sexy accent," and then I'm like, "Hey guys, how's it going?" And they're like,
like, bitch, you're from Canada?
Yeah, this guy, he sounds like he's from Jersey. I don't want to.
Yeah, man. But I feel you on that one.
Yeah, but speaking of like cultural experience, Matthew, would you ever want to go to Vietnam when this is all over?
I would love to go to Vietnam, and that would be fantastic.
Definitely, yeah. And also Leo will be your tour guide.
And he was not pressured into it by having two Vietnamese on the podcast asking him lifetime. We're not pressuring him. This is we
don't work for the Ministry of Tourism.
Yes, like that, we don't work for them at all. This podcast is not sponsored by anybody.
Yeah. But
has anyone ever said no? Have you ever asked somebody if they want to come to Vietnam on the podcast, and they're like, "Nah, man, why would I want?"
Nah, man, I'm good.
I'm all right, man. I've seen the movies.
I want to go to Chicago to get mugged.
Yeah. They have better bookings in the States than in Vietnam.
In Vietnam we get mugged and then we give back to you what we don't need. We're very practical. We reach into your pocket and we get it, and then it's ours, but then we're going to get the things that we need. We're going to give the paper back to you like a nice person would.
Of course, yeah. It's like I don't need this wall. I don't need this like this coffee card with like 7 stamps on it. You know,
like you can have the 3 of them, but the money's in my hands. So it is my property.
All I need is the money.
Yes.
You know? You would be pickpocketing me to take that back. You know.
Yes, exactly. So I'm just cutting the process for your purpose.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's how my friends. They work in sales, and they were trained to pitch to the customer that we are helping them. How can I help you to get me money?
Yeah, I was working in insurance sales for ages, and it was the same thing. I felt really bad because I would have to scare people. I would have to be like, "Look, all I'm saying is just picture this, okay? You're in this horrific accident. You and your family are all injured. You're almost dead. And then the insurance company don't pay out. That's why you need the extra premium policy. You need it."
That's such a fucking classic, bro. That's funny as hell. Okay.
But Leo. So you if you were going to be Matthew's tour guide in Vietnam, where would you take him? Where would you start?
Well, Matthew seems like a very nice guy, so I wouldn't take him to any strip club at all. I would definitely not take him to one of those like happy ending place because
no would be in for him.
He wouldn't enjoy it. He would enjoy the nature, the pagodas, right? No bitching is his tour, no.
Yeah, I like to go. I like to go to the sad ending places where somebody starts jerking you off, and then they just are like, "Oh, I don't want to do this anymore," and they leave.
Dude, I've been to that place. This is one of the times I went to one of those shampoo place, but they shampoo your other parts, not your head. So, so you would go to get a shampoo, and then you go out, your hair is dry. Like, bitch, what are you doing there? But like,
still have a dirty head.
Yeah, but then when I go in there and I met some of these girls, and they started doing their thing, and I started talking to them, we started exchanging. And I was like, man, you're trafficked to here, and then you're working here to send money to your family. So you're kind of like a migrant worker. So I'm just like, man, I'm off. But then I'm thinking about this girl economic inequalities and the things that he got to go through to suck my dick. And then afterward, I just feel like shit because I just support, like a trafficking scheme.
A bad system. Yeah.
So I was like, hey, this is, some more tip, send back to your little brother to buy some book bag or something, but thank for sucking my dick. It's just good. But that is a sad ending place.
That is a very definitely a sad place. Bring me to that place.
Yes. It's anyway.
Yeah, that sounds nice though. I do want to check out Vietnam because it's not it's somewhere that looks so pretty, but you don't actually get to see that much of in the media. You don't really see much of like modern day Vietnam. I'd love to like experience it firsthand. Over in Ireland, we don't really get much of a conception of it.
Definitely.
It's an amazing mix between nature and modern. It's so
no, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, but besides the sad hand jobs, where else would you take Matthew?
Yeah, that's what I was waiting for. Like some more. Like surely there's more to the country than this.
Really? Oh, that's Cambodia. I forgot. That's Cambodia. But Vietnam, a lot of history stuff. If you want to, get to know the fucked up history. Vietnam has a fucked up history. It's like a piece of land that everybody fucking wants it. It's right on the water. It's like right in the middle of like in the area, strategic, so everybody wants it throughout the history. So everybody trying to get a piece of us. So that's one history part. There's the beautiful ocean island, tropicals parties. There's a mountain too, up the Tây Bắc là gì, man? Northeast? Is that?
Northwest.
Northwest. Northwest.
Northwest region.
Yeah, Northwest region. There's the mountain kind of highlands. Yeah.
Beautiful. Scenic. Very scenic.
Yeah. Where we kind of exploit the locals for tourism. Our type of people, me and Nghia, is the Kinh people. We're the
majority.
The majority.
We're the white people of Vietnam.
Yeah, so we are the white people of Vietnam. We are privileged, So we go up there and then hey, look at them minorities. We call them minorities. Hey, look at the minority, and then like, hey, tourists, and then
yeah.
But other than that, the food too, man. I think you would enjoy the food if you were like an adventurous guy, like your comedy. You would love the food. It's amazing.
That sounds really sweet. I really want to. I want to go now. I'm going to turn up in a few weeks' time, and I'm just going to be like, "Where are you? You didn't come here."
And then if you like tea, we got you for a treat.
I fuck with tea immensely, so I would love to try some Vietnamese tea, bro.
Definitely, yeah. And Leo, would you want to go to Ireland?
I would love to go to Ireland. I've always have a fascinating. I watched the some movie on Netflix, Belfast.
Oh yeah,
and I'm very fascinated about like the history, like the RA and stuff like that,
Yeah, the Ra.
The Ra.
The Ra, please sponsor us.
That'd be great. You got that Ra money coming in.
Yeah, I feel like Irish people and Vietnamese people, we are very similar in the type that we love alcohol, and that makes us very brutally honest. That's the type. We Vietnam is the Ireland of Asia, and Ireland is the Vietnam of Europe. We're like rowdy bunch. We're like we fight everybody.
Yeah, partying people. Yeah, we have no inhibitions or anything. It's just all out there in the open. Yeah.
And Matthew, so you were to be Leo's tour guide. Where would you take him?
Well, okay. So we land in Dublin. We're in Dublin where we live now. I would take him to his hotel, and then I would take him to another hotel, and then another hotel. Because the whole city, I don't know if you know this, Leo, but our Dublin is 80% hotels at this point.
Oh shit! Really?
Damn. Yeah. The housing policy, the building policy in this country is like based on the game Monopoly. houses are okay, but hotels are a lot better.
Damn, I didn't know that.
Dublin. But we do have some good bars and stuff. I'd probably take you to like the Workman's, where people hang out, and we get some drinks there, get some burgers and stuff, and I'd probably go to. Have you heard of the Giant's Causeway?
No.
Oh, it's like the do you know the Giant's Causeway? Yeah,
I think so. Yeah. I think.
Oh, it's like you go up to like Antrim, and they have all of these. It's like these rocks, but they're cut out into these like perfect hexagons, and it happens like naturally, and it's this big. It's a major tourist thing, but it's cool because like there's this story behind it where like our main like mythological guy Finn McCool. Some giant was coming over from Scotland. Finn McCool is also my rap name, incidentally.
What's the name again?
It's called the Giant's Causeway, and it's because this giant came over from Scotland. Oh, you looking at pictures?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's slick. I would recommend people look it up.
Oh shit.
Yeah, he came over to like fuck up our country, and the way Finn McCool defeated him was by. He dressed up as a baby, and then when the giant saw him, he was like, "Wow, if this is how big their babies are, the grown-up ones must be really huge." And then he left. So our I think it shows a lot about the Irish mentality, where like other cultures have like great warriors as their heroes, and our like greatest hero is a guy who dressed up like a baby. To trick a giant.
Dude, that is so like creative. It's like a non-violence way to resolve things with your brains. That's why I say Vietnamese people, Irish people are alike, because back in the day when we have the war with the like the Chinese, like this is not the Chinese, it's like the Imperial Chinese.
Yeah.
Like there's a, I mean, this is like so crazy. Like there's a war, and the enemy is coming in with their their navy, and then we wait for the tide to go up. We lure them in, and when the tides go down, there's like these stick that we stuck down in the river.
Yeah, the pike.
The pike. So like when the tides go down, like the enemy is stuck in there, so like, they couldn't do shit. But like this is like 1,000 years ago. Like these motherfuckers are like out there stuck in pikes under under like the waterbed, and then when it comes in, it's stuck in there, and it just fucking.
Yeah, I would not be able to come up with that shit now, even with like 1,000.
I know, right?
Yeah, even with like rising water level, it's just...
Yeah, that's just crazy, So exactly,
that's
like Finn McCool.
Yeah,
Finn McCool is a genius. He's a baby genius.
Yeah, I wish we had tried the baby thing when the British invaded it. If we all dressed like babies, that would have they would have just gotten freaked out and left. But or the pike thing would have been good as well. We don't have as many rivers, I don't think, but we could have improvised. We could have done something.
Yeah.
I think because we did the pike thing twice.
It worked the first time.
Yeah, it worked the first time, and then 300 years, like some guy just browsing history of the last dynasty. Man, this guy got some interesting tab going on. Pikes under the river. Ooh.
Was it the Chinese again this time? Was it Imperial?
It was the Mongols,
Mongols.
but they conquered China. They were ruling China at the time, and I'm pretty sure the Chinese didn't remind them. Like fuck you.
They definitely did pass on the books.
Because they could have helped out, but they're like, fuck these guys. They invaded us. We're not going to help them invade Vietnam. That'd be crazy.
We're just going to steer them to the wrong direction.
Definitely, yeah.
There was this one time, but this is so like classic Vietnamese. This one time, we know the enemy is coming in. We abandon our capital, so we move people away. So when the enemies come in, they got no food, no people, no money, no nothing. They're just stuck in there for like 3 months, and then they're like hungry as shit. And then like 3 months later, we storm in and we beat the shit out of them. It's just like a weight game,
Yeah, that's the way to do it. You got to rig it so they're all like hungry. They're just thinking about food, and then you just come and fuck them up.
Scorched earth policy.
That's slick, man.
It's good, yeah. Like, and obviously, yeah, you're gonna take yeah. So Matthew, you're gonna take Leo to like the workman's and all the pubs and.
Is there like a big sports scene? Like I love football. Is there a big?
Yeah.
There's some great sports like soccer teams and stuff. We have Bohemians are a very popular one. They're kind of like the cool kids football team. If you go to around Phibsborough, which is kind of like one of the cool parts of Dublin, there's a bunch of murals for them and everything. So I would take you probably to a Bows game if you wanted to see that. That's what we call them, the Bows.
Yeah, and are you going to take Leo to see some Gaelics as well?
Yeah, we have our own sports. We improved. The British were there playing football, just kicking it around.
I'm looking it up right now. I'm very intrigued.
It's like the British were all playing soccer, and then an Irish guy just came along and like picked up the ball, and they were like, "You're not allowed to do that," and we were like, "Fuck you! Yeah, we're gonna."
Holy shit! It's the. Oh man, this is interesting.
Yeah, and then we also have another game, hurling, which is it's like hockey, but you can pick up the ball. All of our sports are just based on taking other sports and picking up the ball.
You Irish people are very hands on.
Yes, we take a hands on.
Very hands on
approach.
Very outside the box. Why only use your feet?
Yeah.
What's your hands for?
Yeah, we're basically because we either use all our hands or our feet, but never both. Because we have that, and then we have river dance, and that's just the feet. But you can never do the two together.
Oh man, amazing! Can't wait to visit. What were your experience doing the Edinburgh festival?
Edinburgh Festival. Oh, it's great. That was probably the best time I had doing comedy, honestly. That was because it's the only time when comedy is really fun, but you never feel like musicians are like cool guys. I feel everyone looks up to them. Comedians never feel like that. I'm always a little bit ashamed that I'm a comedian.
Hey man,
it's not something you can't come out to people. You're in a group of friends. You have the guy with his guitar. I'm gonna play a song, and you're like, I'm a comic. And you're like, tell us a joke.
Give me something. I'm an improv. Give me something.
That's the thing, is that you're just like, no, that's not you, because they're like, when I tell someone I'm a comedian, I immediately imagine that they like scan back through all of our conversations to think of how funny I was. So but in the Edinburgh Fringe Festival, you're like the coolest thing there. It's all the comedians are like the rulers of the city for the month.
This is really amazing. Like, I am interested in how the Edinburgh Festival got so big. What makes it the best festival in the world?
It's crazy. It's probably it's so much bigger than any other Fringe festival. Like, there's nowhere else where like an entire city is just taken over by artists and everything. I have no idea how it happened, because like you're saying, it's so huge, but I think it's the kind of thing that could only ever happen once. No one else would ever let this happen to their city, but Edinburgh we're just cool about it. So yeah, you did it as well, didn't you?
I did, a couple times. Like I didn't do like a solo run. I was just doing spots.
That's just being there is the company of the
because
it's a whole month.
It's a whole month.
It's a month.
Holy shit.
And you're doing because you do your own show if you want, and then you can get spots all around town. So you're getting up. There's some days where I was getting up at like 9 and doing a spot, and then going up like 9 a.m. and then going over and doing another spot at noon, and then another spot at like 3, and then out flyering for my show for like 4 hours, and then doing my show at like 9 o'clock, and then doing a show at like 2 in the morning. So I did that for like the first week, and then I just hit a wall where I was like, you need to sleep at some point, Matthew. And then after that,
it's like a rush.
Yeah. I was waking up at like 4 p.m. after that. I was like so drained by the end of it. My whole sleep schedule was fucked. But it's great because it's like all of your friends live within a 5-minute walk from you. So you kind of feel like you're on like the TV show Friends or something, where you can just wander into somebody's apartment with no advance notice and just hang out.
So it's definitely like accessible, right? It's like very open for comics of all level.
Yeah.
You would
Yeah.
say.
And there's like a Facebook group you can join, and
Oh.
and that's where you can like sign up for spots and stuff.
And pretty much
but if you do-
anybody.
Yeah.
Is he good? Pretty much anybody who has the time and money as well, like money to fly over and get accommodation, can get a show if they want to. So it's something that it's weird because not a lot of people based in America do it, and I think it's a shame because it really.
Yeah, I know.
Mm.
Like it's when I heard about it, I was like, I mean, this is like the Coachella of comedy, you know?
Yeah, and the hardest thing in America is getting stage time, and here you can do like you can probably do like an hour of comedy total every day or two, you know?
Damn, that's crazy because in festival here it's like very heavily curated. So if you don't know the booker, like it's very hard. But it's good to hear, man. It's amazing.
Classic. That's the same in Ireland as well. It's classic nepotism.
Yeah, I think it's just everywhere.
Very cliquey.
Yeah, very cliquey. But anyway, yeah, thanks for sharing. This is amazing. It's one of the what do you call it? The meccas
of comedy.
The mecca of
The
comedy.
meccas of comedy.
God, this podcast is making me miss travel a lot because it's all like how great Vietnam is, how great America and Edinburgh.
We're preparing for the post-pandemic recovery. It's just whenever.
Yeah, this podcast is sponsored by the Zoom airline.
Yeah. You're whetting people's appetite for when it's back. They're
Definitely,
yeah, they're hungry for it. It's like what you guys did militarily back in the day. You're getting everyone hungry for travel. And then you come in.
Okay. So in this, we're coming into the last portion of our episode. So we're just gonna play a little game. This is more of a stand-up game. So we're gonna think of some caption. So for things we would like to hear. So first one is think a McDonald's employee never says in front of a customer. Matthew, you have some experience in this department. So why don't you start?
Well, the main thing that I would hear in the back of the restaurant, but not at the front of the restaurant around the customers, was like, "How long has this been here for?"
Leo, what about you?
I think I never say to the customer. If I'm a employee, I would never say to the customer that, "Ma'am, you're the chicken."
That's good. I think Matthew got a point for that one. Right. Next one. How to convince an anti-vaxxer to get vaccinated? Leo?
Oh, how to convince the anti-vaxxer to get vaccinated? It's you got to tell them that it's Trump semen. They would love it. They would inject that shit right up their blood.
Ooh. Right, Trump semen. Matthew?
I would say tell them that this protects them from the vaccine. This is like the vaccine.
Man, that's funny as shit.
That's great, man. The anti-vaccine.
The anti-vaccine.
Yeah.
Brilliant. This is the Johnson and Johnson.
Yes.
The anti-Johnson.
It'll keep Bill Gates out of your mind.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, so I think Matthew got this one again. So.
Yeah. Ding, 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 ding.
Okay, next one. Think a heckler might say at the first post-COVID gig. Matthew?
I'm going back into quarantine. This is
This is what I was gonna say.
yeah.
This suck. You're 2020.
Right. I think Leo got that one. Yeah.
Pity point. Yes. Yes.
That's how we
live
do.
for the pity point. Yeah.
Pity point. That's the only way I get ahead in life is the pity point.
Participation trophies.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
All right.
Next one. Things a comedian never say when receiving a comedy award. Leo?
There's no such thing as a comedy award. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I haven't received one yet, so
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Is like
a comedy award. I was like, who's the hell is sponsoring this? The Chick-fil-A Comedy Award.
a comedian probably, if they got a comedy award, would just like take that opportunity to do their fight five. Like a spot is a spot, you know.
Yes. You know, might as well just make them laugh, right?
You
Might as well just
you,
make some more, get some more jobs while you at it.
Yeah, man.
do a tight 5. If you win this, you can do a tight 7.
I actually did. I got an award, like an award just that this like mixed open mic that's like music and comedy and poetry. And at the end of the year, just for fun, they did a little like comedian of the year, poet of the year. So they called me up and gave me the award, and then I had to do my set, and I tanked so hard with an award in my hands that said that I was funny, and I just think I didn't get a single laugh. And as I walked down, I was just like, thank you for this award for being funny.
Yeah, what would you say, man?
Yeah. What would you say?
I would say, yeah, I don't deserve this. Thanks, Mom and Dad.
I don't deserve life.
I deserve.
I want to be a musician. I want to be a musician.
Right, and next one. Deleted scenes from an Irish travel documentary on Vietnam. Let's start with you, Matthew.
That is so specific. Wow. Deleted scenes from an Irish travel documentary on Vietnam.
Yeah.
I would say that it would be like the Vietnamese guys are playing soccer, and then the Irish documentarian is like, "Oh, I'll play with you guys," and he just picks the ball up and starts running.
What is he doing?
Or maybe they're you could be on a boat, and then he runs into like a pike, and they're just stuck there for the night.
Hey, this is a museum. This is a museum river. We should have never gone in here.
Yeah. What about you, Leo? What do you think?
It would be Matthew patting the back of the traffic girls in the sad happy place. It's okay, girl. It's okay. I'll tip you more. I'll tip you more. It's okay. It's not that big. It's not
just
that big,
consoling
right,
them.
It's not that big.
It's fine. I'll pay for your brother's tuition. You know.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't even want this sex anymore. This is just.
You don't have to do it if you don't want to.
I think they'll appreciate this at RTE. You know.
Yeah. It's just an hour. That's not a deleted scene. That's the whole documentary. It's me consoling somebody.
Right on.
Right. So we're gonna have our final one. Deleted scene from a Vietnamese travel documentary on Ireland.
It probably some uncles who drink some Guinness beer and then got drunk and then started pulling their shirt above their like this. Like just sit on the corner of the street, just like that. With a beer.
With a pint of Guinness, you know.
Yes, with a pint of Guinness. Or squatting on the street. Smoking a cigarette indoor, drinking beer, making it at home.
This isn't an answer, but is Guinness much of a thing in Vietnam? I'm not actually aware, because I know in America it's a big thing, but I don't know anywhere else in the world.
Vietnam have a pretty vibrant local beer scene, but we just love beer. So I mean, if we've been to Ireland, we would drink what is the national over there, so you know.
But we haven't made it over there quite yet. That's what we need to do. That's my deleted scene, is a Vietnamese person tasting Guinness for the first time and going, "What's a Vietnamese beer?"
Vietnamese beer is it's a light keg. It's like in a keg, light, and then we just like drink it like iced tea, like very cold,
Nice.
like all the time.
Yeah, so it's just a warm Guinness, and then he has it, and he just spits it in the bartender's face because it's not. It's the wrong kind of beer.
Yeah. This beer is warm.
Yeah, I wanted iced tea. What you give me?
Man, I'm looking forward to these documentary travel. Not sure it's gonna be a documentary or a mockumentary, but you know.
Yeah, it sounds like neither teams really did their research before they went together. I feel like you've already paid to go to Vietnam. You learn a little bit about the local culture before.
It's like a travel documentary of Fox News, so they're just going there to ridicule the locals.
Yeah, they're just there to bully people for like, why aren't you eating McDonald's? Like, everyone should be eating McDonald's. What do you think of George Bush? Yeah.
Oh, George Bush.
Okay.
Do you believe in QAnon? But yeah, I think that that's come to an end of this recording. Thank you so much for everyone who has taken part in it. Thanks so much to Leo Nguyen.
Woo woo woo.
And also to our special guest, Matthew Tallon.
Yeah. Hot press.
Hot press comedian of the year. Yeah.
Nominated. Yeah, for now.
Yeah. So how can we find? So can you tell us, our audience, how can we find you on social media?
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, it's Instagram would probably be best. I'm pretty active there. So at Tallon Matthew. So TALLON. MATTHEW.
Yeah.
And then TikTok at Matthew Tallon 5.
Yeah.
There are 4 better Matthews than me. If you're following them already, then give me a follow too.
Definitely. Yeah. Remember everyone.
Make your way down the list, please.
Yeah. Just keep going through all the Matthews.
Yes.
Just go in the search bar. Matthew 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the one I'm looking for. So find Matthews on Instagram and TikTok for all his videos about firm class and erotic appreciation. Also remember to follow Leo Nguyen on
at Leo Nguyen Comedy. Leo Nguyen Comedy, everybody.
Leo Nguyen Comedy, yeah. And also don't forget to subscribe to our podcast on all your favorite streaming platforms. Thank you so much. Have a good time.
Yep.